Long ago, in the prosperous kingdom of Edora, a royal family welcomed their first daughter, but instead of rejoicing, the king and queen frowned at the sight of her. She had uneven features, rough skin, and eyes that always looked as though they carried 1,000 storms. She was named Princess Ebele, but to her parents, she was nothing more than the ugly child. Three more daughters followed. All were radiant, slender, bright-eyed, and admired across kingdoms. The palace walls were filled with their laughter, their silk dresses, their beauty. Ebele, however, was kept in the shadows. She was never invited to royal gatherings. She was never shown to neighboring kingdoms. She was treated as a shame the palace wished to hide. Within the palace, she scrubbed floors like a servant. But outside, in the warm embrace of the villagers, Ebele found something the palace never gave her: love. She helped the old, comforted the young, and carried more water from the stream than any woman in the land. The villagers adored her, calling her Princess of Kind Hearts. And though she had no beauty, her smile alone could calm even the noisiest child. When marriage season came, the king and queen put their efforts into their three beautiful daughters. Princes and noblemen came from distant lands to seek their hands. Grand feasts were thrown, music filled the palace. But for Ebele, nothing. No suitors, no preparations, not even a mention of her name. To her parents, she was an embarrassment, unworthy of royal matchmaking. They locked her away when visitors came, ashamed for anyone to see her. One quiet afternoon, Ebele was returning from the stream, a pot of water balanced on her head, when she noticed a weary man sitting by the path. His clothes were dusty, his throat dry. "Please, may I have some water?" he asked weakly. Without hesitation, Ebele lowered her pot and offered him water with both hands. He drank gratefully, relief washing over him. "You have saved me. Thank you for your kindness," he said. "I am traveling to your village." Ebele, surprised, asked gently, "Are you visiting? I have never seen you before." He laughed softly. "Do you know everyone in this village?" She smiled shyly. "Most of them." "Well," he said, "you are right. I come from a faraway place. I will be staying here a while." From that day, they walked together often, through the market, past the farms, along the narrow paths of the village. His name was Afam, a calm-spoken young man, with eyes that saw far deeper than appearances. He never mocked her, never stared at her in disgust, never called her ugly. To him, she was simply Ebele, kind, gentle, and full of life, and that itself was beauty. Their friendship grew into a quiet, burning love. Ebele, who had never believed she would find someone to love her for who she truly was, basked in the warmth of it, her heart finally feeling the love and acceptance she had longed for. One evening, as the sun dipped behind the hills, Afam held her hands and said, "I love you, Ebele. Will you marry me?" Her heart trembled with joy. She said yes. Afam went to the palace to seek the king and queen's blessing. Instead of warmth, he was met with mockery. The queen sneered. The king scoffed. "She's a disgrace," they said. "Look at her. No prince wants her. Only a commoner like you would." Their words tore Ebele's heart, but Afam only held her close and whispered, "You are as beautiful as the morning sun. Their eyes are blind to beauty. Not your fault." He promised to travel home to inform his parents and would return with them for the marriage rites. The king and queen didn't bother preparing. They expected a poor family, something small, something forgettable. The sun had barely risen when the ground began to tremble. The palace guards rushed out. Golden chariots, 10 of them, rode towards the palace. Royal banners flapped in the air. Armored escorts surrounded them. The king and queen panicked. "We are not expecting royalty." The chariot stopped. The doors opened. Afam stepped out, no longer in simple traveler's clothes, but in full royal regalia, shimmering with gold threads. Behind him stepped a king and queen, dressed in grander splendor than anyone in Edora had ever seen. The king of Edora fell to his knees. The queen gasped, trembling, for the visitors were none other than the emperor and empress of the 7 kingdoms, rulers above all rulers. Afam bowed slightly. "I am Prince Afam, heir to the 7 kingdoms." Gasps filled the palace courtyard. The king and queen froze, their knees weakening, but Afam's eyes were fixed only on Ebele. "It is true," he continued calmly. "I came here as a traveler because I wanted to meet the princess whose kindness the entire village spoke of. I heard how you mistreated her, how you hid her, how you made her feel less than human." Ebele's lips parted, but no words came. She stood trembling, speechless, overwhelmed, unable to believe what she was hearing. The emperor stepped forward, his imposing figure casting a long shadow across the trembling king and queen. His face hardened, voice thundering through the courtyard. "How dare you mistreat a child of your own blood? How dare you judge a heart by a face? You are a disgrace to the throne and everything it stands for." Fear struck the king and queen like a dagger. Their hearts pounded, not just at their daughter's presence, but at the power standing before them. They did not know what punishment the emperor might mete out. The thought of losing their throne, their kingdom, even their lives made them tremble uncontrollably. Shame, fear, and regret swallowed them. They could not lift their eyes to their daughter. In a hurried, trembling voice, the king whispered, "We were wrong, deeply wrong. We are sorry." The queen bowed her face in shame, tears welling up in her eyes. "We are sorry, Your Royal Highness. We were wrong. We promise we will do better." The emperor's gaze softened only slightly, but he did not look satisfied. He simply told them that forgiveness was no longer his to give. It was Ebele's to give. Ebele looked at her parents, her heart tender. Then, with a gentle smile, she stepped forward, opened her arms and hugged them warmly. "I forgive you," she whispered. The king and queen wept, overwhelmed by the mercy and love of the daughter they had once scorned. Ebele and Afam were married in a grand wedding the kingdom had never seen. The villagers rejoiced, dancing and singing in honor of the princess they had always loved. Marriage brought Ebele into a world she had never known, a world where she was loved, cherished, respected, and seen. For the first time in her life, she woke up without fear. She laughed freely. She walked boldly. Her heart, once heavy with rejection, began to heal. And slowly, quietly, something extraordinary happened. Ebele began to change. At first, it was subtle. Her skin, once rough from years of stress and neglect, softened like morning dew. The permanent sadness in her eyes melted into a warm glow. Her shoulders straightened. Her smile brightened. and she carried herself like someone who finally knew her worth. The palace maids whispered, "Is that truly Queen Ebele? She looks different." Servants stared in amazement as she passed. Even the prince himself noticed that each day his wife was becoming more radiant. It was not magic. It was not sorcery. It was the beauty that flourishes when a heart is finally treated with love. By the end of the first year, Ebele's transformation was undeniable. Her sisters visited one day and gasped. Standing before them was not the girl they once mocked. Her once uneven features had refined into striking symmetry. Her eyes glowed like polished amber. Her smile lit up the room. Her confidence gave her an aura none of them had ever possessed. She was no longer just beautiful. She was breathtaking. More beautiful than all her sisters combined. The same people who once laughed at her now bowed low. They couldn't believe that the ugly princess they rejected had blossomed into the most stunning princess in the Seven Kingdoms. Years later, when Afan became emperor, Ebele became queen of all seven kingdoms. Her parents and sisters now paid homage to her. In the end, the once ugly princess became not only beautiful, but the most beloved queen in history, proving once again that beauty may open eyes, but kindness opens hearts, builds kingdoms, and leaves a legacy no mirror can ever measure. Please share your thoughts with me in the comments. And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your family and friends, and hit the subscribe button for more amazing stories. Thank you so much for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.